By accident, the time cloth wrapped around Nobita's mom and turned her back into a little girl. She looked quite a lot like Shizuka. Doraemon intended to change her back to normal, but she refused his help. She tied and adjusted her clothes to make them fit properly. She decided to spend the whole day as a child, then ran outside. She did all this to get close to Nobita and find out the secret he was hiding from her. Earlier that morning, Mom had tried to look for Nobita's test paper with a 0 score. Instead, she found a receipt in the trash can. Shocked by the huge amount written on it, she grew very worried. She was sure Nobita was keeping something important from her. Meanwhile, Nobita held a box and searched everywhere for a safe hiding spot. Suddenly, John and Sunio blocked his way. They said they had a gift for him to let Nobita check it easily. Sunio even swapped the box for him. Just then, Mom arrived. Seeing the box in Nobita's hands, she thought his secret was inside it. She quickly snatched the box away. It turned out to be a prank played by John and Sunio. The box was full of scary bugs. Frightened, both mother and son climbed up a utility pole right away. After calming down, Nobita thought the little girl looked strangely familiar. To keep her real identity hidden, Mom quickly lied and said she was Nobita's distant cousin. The naive Nobita believed her immediately. He suddenly remembered his original box was still with Sunio, so he turned around and went to find him. When he caught up with Sunio, he learned the box had already been sent back to his house. Terrified that his mom would find it, Nobita hurried home. He let out a sigh of relief after getting the box from Doraemon. He quickly hid it inside a hidden cabinet at home. As he closed the cabinet door, an envelope fell out unexpectedly, opened it, and discovered it was his mom's secret savings. He no longer felt safe keeping the box at home, so he decided to take it to Shizuka's house. After putting the money away, Mom rushed after Nobita. Along the way, Nobita handed her the box to hold for a moment. Mom wanted to peek inside, but when she saw Nobita helping a lost elderly lady, she chose not to open it. Together, they walked the old lady home. After that, they went to Shizuka's house, but no one answered the door. Nobita then led Mom to the hills behind their neighborhood. They followed a path until they reached a tree. He moved aside a stone slab, revealing the box underneath. Inside were all kinds of boys' toys, which were Nobita's most precious treasures. As dusk fell, the two chatted casually. Noticing Mom was curious about the other box, Nobita handed it to her. He had never planned to show it to anyone, but he trusted she would keep it to herself. After all, she had stayed with him all day. Mom took the box and slowly opened it. Surprisingly, there was only a silk scarf inside. It was a gift Nobita had prepared for his mom. She had once mentioned wanting a silk scarf, and he had kept it in mind ever since. He planned to give it to her as a birthday surprise. Mom was deeply touched by his thoughtfulness. Just then, a strong wind blew the scarf aside, exposing the 0-score test paper hidden at the very bottom. A boy was accidentally injured by a dud bomb. Luckily, a skilled doctor came to treat him. Just as the surgery was nearly finished, they ran out of the skin needed for the transplant. The doctor quickly gathered Blackjack's classmates, hoping someone would donate a small piece of skin. This skin graft surgery was extremely risky, and no one could tell what complications might follow. For this reason, none of the parents were willing to let their kids take the risk. They took their children and left the hospital right away. While the doctor was growing anxious, a young black boy stepped forward and offered to donate his skin. Blackjack had always been kind and helpful to him over the years, so he wanted to repay that kindness now. The doctor regained hope at once. He immediately performed the skin transplant operation on them. At the very last moment, Blackjack was successfully saved. After the surgery, the boy visited Blackjack in his hospital room. He told Blackjack he would be discharged soon. This experience had changed his mind, and he made up his mind to become a great doctor someday. Inspired by the boy, Blackjack promised that they would both become outstanding doctors together and help people suffering from illnesses. From that day on, Blackjack threw himself into intense rehabilitation training, yet his recovery took far longer than he had expected. Years later, when he finally made a full recovery, the boy had already left Japan to keep their promise. To fulfill their shared dream, Blackjack got into one of the world's top medical universities. After he became a doctor, he traveled across the globe to heal the sick. While searching for his long-lost friend, he searched across most of the world, but never managed to find the boy. One day, Blackjack arrived at a small country in Africa. A large local factory was severely polluting the nearby ocean. Every day, local residents marched in the streets, demanding that the factory be shut down. Amid the crowd of protesters, Blackjack spotted a familiar figure. It was his friend he had not seen for many years. Before the two could greet each other, the chaotic crowd separated them. As Blackjack was figuring out how to get in touch, his friend reached out to him first and asked to meet at the Ferris wheel in a park. His friend had long since become a doctor. Unlike Blackjack, he did not focus solely on treating sick people. Instead, he devoted himself to saving the world damaged by human pollution. His current goal was to blow up the factory that was ruining the ocean. Hearing this, Blackjack tried hard to stop him. He warned that blowing up the factory would harm countless innocent people, but his friend had grown stubborn and extreme. He believed such sacrifices were necessary. Only by paying with lives could people wake up to the crisis and save the planet. Blackjack was about to reason with him further when police cars chasing his friend arrived on the scene. He lost the chance to persuade his friend. He could only watch helplessly as the man jumped into the sea to escape arrest. The two men who once shared the same dream had ultimately walked down completely different paths. After that day, Blackjack never saw his friend again. Later on, he learned about his friend's death from the news. He struggled to believe the news at first, but eventually had to accept the harsh truth. Carrying on their original shared aspiration, he grew into the world-famous unlicensed genius doctor. To lock up an escaped convict, the police built a world-class prison just for him. They also assigned 1,000 guards to keep watch around the clock. Yet on the very first day of the guard duty, the convict slipped away way through the sewer. Surprisingly, he turned himself in right after escaping, asking to be locked inside a tiny metal cell. The police thought he could never break free this time, but Lupin disabled all the surveillance cameras in an instant. He disguised himself as a priest who came to pray for inmates, broke out again and surrendered once more. The police were enraged by his antics. They tied Lupin up with hundreds of heavy chains and transferred him to a remote desert island. A legendary police officer was put in charge of guarding him alone. Lupin finally ran out of tricks this time. His partners trusted his abilities too much, so they never came to rescue him. Trapped there for a full year, Lupin was driven to the edge. Unable to escape, he chose to go on a hunger strike, refusing all food offered by the officer. Before long, he collapsed on the ground from malnutrition. The officer panicked the moment he saw this and grabbed the keys to rush in and help. He stopped himself all of a sudden, suspecting it was just another one of Lupin's schemes, an act of faking death to get away. Several days passed, and Lupin remained completely motionless. The officer finally lost his composure and hurriedly unlocked the cell door. When he stepped close to Lupin's body, he realized he had been tricked. What lay on the ground was not a real body at all, but a lifelike three-dimensional painting. Everything had been part of Lupin's master plan. He used the leftover food from his hunger strike as paint, and his grown-out hair as a brush. Every night while the officer slept, he painted a realistic image of his own dead body from the window's viewpoint. He knew the officer would definitely open the cell if he believed the prisoner had died, which would give him the perfect chance to escape. This artistic escape idea had actually been conceived the moment he was arrested. He pulled off the whole stunt, simply to play a big prank on the police officer. News of Lupin's escape spread quickly. The officer, who had ended up trapped inside the cell, was rescued soon after. Lupin was quite proud of himself. However, his partners looked unimpressed. They even joked about being disappointed that he hadn't really died. Still, Lupin enjoyed their rough and casual way of greeting him. They truly were a carefree gang of fugitive partners. A top doctor received a most peculiar patient. The woman wore a face mask. A deformed cyst the size of a basketball had grown on her abdomen. Whenever anyone tried to remove the cyst, strange things would start happening one after another. Everyone believed the woman was cursed, with nowhere left to turn. The people had no choice but to call for the legendary Dr. Blackjack. Blackjack never bought into such supernatural tales. He asked the other doctors to leave the room and began the operation all by himself. Right after he marked the incision lines and got ready to cut, he was suddenly struck with an excruciating headache. Next, an invisible force slammed him hard against the wall. A voice kept ringing in his ears, warning him repeatedly not to go through with the surgery. This was the first time Blackjack had encountered something like this in his entire career. Still, he refused to give up. Just as he raised the scalpel to make the cut, a powerful force took control of his body once more. The blade was pointed straight at his own throat. Faced with this life-threatening danger, Blackjack made a promise to the cyst. He would remove it, but he would never harm it. Instead, he would place it in a culture vessel and let it keep living. Hearing his words, the deformed cyst decided to trust him, though it had lived inside the woman's body all this time. It had long heard stories of Blackjack's extraordinary medical skills. The operation proceeded smoothly from then on. Blackjack successfully removed the cyst and placed it inside the culture container. The next day, Blackjack told the patient that the surgery was a success and revealed the shocking truth behind everything. In fact, the cyst was her twin sister. When their mother was giving birth years ago, this unborn child failed to come into the world. It ended up attaching itself to the older sister's body and grew alongside her until it eventually turned into this deformed cyst. After learning the truth, the young woman immediately told Blackjack to get rid of the cyst. The other doctors agreed with her, insisting that the cyst was nothing but a curse. Blackjack could not stand their cold-hearted attitude. He then asked all of them to leave. Staring at the cyst inside the container, Blackjack drifted back to his own past. He too had once been brought back from the brink of death with a badly damaged body. A terrible accident left him severely injured. It took every effort from a team of doctors to save his life. As a physician, Blackjack knew full well that every single life is precious. He made up his mind to let this life live on as a human being. He carefully prepared suitable bones and skin tissues. After an entire night of meticulous stitching, a brand new life was born. He named this new little life Pinocchio. 1 year later, Pinocchio had fully adapted to her new body. It also happened to be the day for her elder sister's final checkup. Blackjack decided to let the two sisters meet. Yet when Pinocchio stood before her, the elder sister said she did not know her and demanded that she leave at once. These words brought back all the painful memories of being abandoned. Pinocchio recalled how her sister and the doctors had treated her back when she was just a cyst. She could not understand why her sister was so cruel and why she would treat her this way. One of the doctors stepped forward and pushed Pinocchio away harshly. The elder sister told the doctor to take her away quickly. Those words broke Pinocchio's heart completely. From that moment on, Pinocchio realized she had no family left in this world. The only person she had was her beloved Blackjack.